Based on the drafting so far, we saw MVP go very aggressive with the draft. Game number 1 led to a lot of success. Game 2, they went with an Alk. It didn't work out. Draskell, should they go back to what they did in game number 1 or pull out something different?
I mean, I think the Alchemist was a really good idea, but the main problem was the Venno. The Venno just got crushed. So maybe it was a little bit too greedy at the last second. I think they decided to swap their lanes around, and I think in the end it really hurt them because they were like all in on the Alk at that point. But I still think the hero itself was fine. It depends.
I think on this game though, Phoenix does not ban out the Elder Titan this game, and then OG obviously first picks it as like one of the most comfortable heroes. And also something to note is OG did not ban Naga when they had second pick, so they could just snatch it up right away from MVP, and that's like the two main changes you see here.
Yeah, both teams prioritize the Naga a lot, you can see from the series. But do you think it's strange that they didn't go for the Void instead when OG opened up with the Elder Titan, since Void is not banned, and they went for the Axe instead?
I think it might be a confidence issue after the last game, because he had like a really rough game on it, and
but he was playing against Naga.
Yeah,
that was probably one of the harder Void games you're gonna have, I feel.
Yeah, so for sure, but maybe shook a bit of his confidence because they first picked it pretty much whenever they could.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to give Titan and Void to the enemy team on the...
Well, they just
if you
did.
can, you know.
It's a killer combo.
They are about to give it to him right now because we get to see the debut of Ogre. So he makes his way in, but it's looking likely that OG...
But I think maybe MVP's approach here is seeing the fact that both of these heroes, like Ogre, Magi, and Axe, fight very consistently. If they're going to fight around cooldown ultimates on OG and they want to open the Elder Titan Void, I feel like that kind of is conducive to MVP's style because they can fight non-stop. They can fight around cooldowns, you know, they can force the engagements, and not only that, but they can also go for some dual aggressive lane if they want after seeing the Elder Titan thing.
They do for the Void. It's like, I just feel it's very hard to fight against Void Titan in general because Titan can set up good chronos. Like you storm 2-3 people and you actually just lose the whole fight.
Well, they can set up each other even. It doesn't even have to be just a stomp. It can be once Void gets blinked, he sets up EP as well.
I mean, the Lich ban is really good for OG. It deals with... it doesn't allow MVP to deal with the lane. Because with Axe, often you want Axe to have a good start. You don't want him to just, oh, you're gonna Iron Talent jungle, see you later, bro. But you want to give him a good start. You want to pressure the lanes.
Yeah. Plus you get you would normally get the addition of that armor buff going against Elder Titan. That would be pretty nice to have. And
yeah.
I think in the group stage it might have won a team a game at a critical point, not too sure.
Now Dazzle is also an option here for MVP Phoenix. It's very good with their heroes.
Yeah.
You kind of want to just run at people and...
Dazzle, Witch Stalker, as long as you have a support that can sustain the Axe in the lane and you can pressure. So I think this game is maybe a bit difficult for OG if you want to run the safe lane Void. Against the Axe, you probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, whatever they pick safe lane, I think they're gonna have a hard time because Ogre and Axe, like dual off lane, it's wrong. They're both really tanky and you actually need to triple lane there to lane properly.
Don't you just pick a range hero for that, like a Clink?
What about Mirana? It already fits okay with Elder Titan.
That is also possible for him.
Yeah.
Mirana, Clinks. Yeah, Clinks used to be paired with Faceless Void all the time.
Well, we do know that OG actually also loved their Juggernaut as well, so they could even go as far as to just put Moon in the off lane, pick safe lane Jug, and then pick a kill lane, because Sven actually can still kill the Ogre and the Axe, so you can set up that way as well.
There's so many good heroes for them, like there's still the Invoker for them.
Yeah.
So the options are fairly wide right now for OG depending on how they want to run. Do they want to have much more team fight or better lanes? You need to choose one of those. Like against MVP, maybe you would consider better lanes more against that team because you don't want to lose early game to them.
Oh, losing the early game against MVP, yeah, that could be...
Then they just run at you, and then you lose the game.
Absolutely.
I think OG might be looking to pick their Invoker because they picked themselves the hardest counter to Invoker in the game, who's also a great setup for the hero, and obviously it's one of Miracle's most comfortable heroes, and
It's his best hero probably, yeah.
we have seen in the top 10 what he does with it. Crazy on that hero.
OG ban out the Timber Saw to round out their second phase of bans, and we move right back into picking here for phase 2, going to MVP side. They already have a pretty aggro setup and a couple of back brothers, if you will, between Axe and Ogre Magi. They're gonna round it up right now with the Shadow Demon snag.
It seems like MVP is setting up that draft for a late game hero. Like you have Bloodlust and you have Disruption. You don't pick those heroes if you don't plan to go for a carry that can utilize the Disruption and the Bloodlust. Like Luna would be a very easy example to understand what they might go for.
That's such a big deviation though from what we normally see, right? Like going Shadow Demon Luna for them. I mean, I guess Luna can still fight because you have Eclipse and you have a lot of damage that you add to the team.
Your lanes are really strong with that.
I feel why SD's really strong here. He can make Axe Illusions who can pretty much just farm jungle or push out any lane, and you have a save against a Chrono if you really need one.
So I guess it's gonna be the Ogre with the Axe lane if they want to pressure. Ogre, Axe and SD with the safe lane. If Elder Titan is roaming, they might be able to pressure the safe lane a lot. So This game Creed on the Elder Titan probably has to focus more on the safe lane. If it's up against the Axe plus Ogre dual lane.
We could see something like a Luna from MVP, but against Elder Titan it's really risky because you don't want to be going AC, you usually just go like agility, so picking something like a Luna is pretty hard, I think. Probably focus more on something like a Mirana, their usual aggressive style.
OG don't consider snagging it for themselves. We'll have to see. Third pick, or maybe the safer bet is grabbing up something for Fly. In the meantime, not revealing.
Portal, I think Portal might be good here because SD Ogre sort of suggests that they might go for illusion-based carry. So having the Portal there is really good for them.
Nice call, my man. Keeper is going to be the pick. The third one here for OG. And then immediate response from MVP. They go right back for the PA.
They do this in the first game. They see a squishy support or two heroes that you can very easily jump on the backline, and they just pick up the PA.
Why Ghost Scepter?
Yeah, but
Why
is
did you
Fly
go?
actually going to get enough farm? Because, I mean, yeah, you can stack the jungle and whatnot, but I think the lane's going to actually be so pressured you might not have time in the early game to be able to get your own item.
I guess that's a fair point. Like, if the game doesn't go well, you rarely see the keeper get a Ghost Scepter like way too early.
This game they actually have a lot of saves for the support in the back. Like Titan can stomp him pretty easily and Void can time dilation him, then he can't jump and blink anymore. He will need a BKB for that.
You have Blinding Light too, which will help a little bit. Create space PA. And very good against PA. OG gets Sven.
Going for the Sven.
Very good pick here. The armor is really good versus the PA general. So PA's damage output in team fights would be severely limited by this pick here.
Yeah.
Very good pick.
And you can have like double armor up as well if you get Chakra Magic before, and then you have like a duration of 12 seconds where you're practically immune to damage against
Yeah,
PA.
sure. Sure that you pick the hero for that.
Why not?
5 seconds
Well,
remaining.
I would much rather have Timber for that manner.
Yeah, but they banned it.
Or maybe a Kunkka, double type ringer.
What double type ring is so sick with Extra Saber?
Yeah, lately though, fortunately we've been seeing more of that support Kunkka, and we can't see his true potential unleashed with Coddle, I agree. Last bans though coming out, MVP.
Dude, MVP played Dusa?
They did
is that
occasionally on
250?
QO, but pretty much only QO. Like he plays
Okay,
both the
so
heroes.
because they have PA, they won't play it.
5
Okay.
seconds
And MP is
remaining.
usually more the guy that suffers and doesn't get that much farm.
Yeah.
Runs around the map and tries to make things happen.
Reserve
Like for OG, like Invoker could still fit up into their heroes. I think it's still a very good pick for them.
10
As
seconds remaining.
Stormbolt, they have the Storm from Elder Titan and there's Chronosphere. There's 3 spells to set up the Invoker here.
They do have to be a bit careful though. PA lanes really
Oh, yeah.
well against the Invoker, and if an Ogre just roams in, you're actually just dead. It's really hard to help you.
You would rather have a hero that's harder to gank in the mid lane.
What would you guys say if they ran it out instead with something like just a classic Storm Spirit to match up there? Is typically a good partner with the Coddle. Do you think he would be okay in that matchup?
I think you actually get harassed a ton, Storm versus PA. You just eat daggers all day, and even if you have high base armor, it's still kind of a struggle for a lot of these heroes.
You do have the
Yeah, that's
Chakra
like-
for the Storm though.
Yeah, that's actually true as well.
Going for the
okay.
Tinker, of course.
Okay, yeah.
This is much better because they have a lot of global presence with the Coddle plus the recall, and you have boots of travel, and you have the spirit to TP onto.
I'm a bit worried for MVP. They already don't have the greatest high ground push, and against that lineup, you can pretty much never breach it. Like
They have to win their lanes. If they don't
Yeah.
win their lanes, I don't think they can do this game.
They have to win the lane for sure, and they have no Tinker counter at all.
I feel this might, like, so far be the biggest outdraft of the series by OG.
Unless there's that one magical pick, gentlemen, that can pull it all together here for MVP. The good anti-tinker, something good to be able to accelerate the laning phase and take control so OG can't take it back.
Anti-Tinker is like Storm or Spectre. I'm not
Well,
sure if those heroes are good here against Tinker.
Anti-Mage is pretty good too, but he's really bad against Sven. Or they go for the Invoker themselves.
MVP or
But might be a
tinker?
cross-wax Invoker, like MP plays a cross-wax Invoker.
All right, Andy, I ask you first here. You said it's a bit of an outdraft. Do you think the Invoker still...
No, I don't
Goes that
think
way?
it's enough. I think OG still have a pretty big advantage.
All right.
I actually think Invoker gets outlaned by Tinker as well, so I will go for OG this game as well.
Yeah, I don't think the Invoker actually salvage what MVP have right now, so I'm going to go for OG.
All right, all my panel thinks it's going to be OG. We'll see if the casters agree. Why don't we go ahead and throw it over to them right now? We got Toby1 and Merlini out on the floor. Gentlemen, take it away.
It's a good question, Melini. Do you agree? I don't know, 5-0 on PA, they just know something special about the hero and play really well around it. I don't think you can discount that.
Yep, so you just need to catch out, right? You just need to find the Tinker. If we go with a cross-wax Invoker, maybe a long-range Tornado, can find him in the tree line.
Yeah.
Some good boarding, some good laning.
It's a lot of good stuff. It's nothing reliable like Spectre pressed R. Oh, there's
Yeah.
Tinker.
Oh, there he is. Or Storm Spirit's got the mana, he can chase him wherever he goes.
Mhm.
Yeah, this doesn't exist for them. So MVP will have a tough run, just judging off the draft, but if anyone can do it, MVP are proven, they can be the one. So into the game we go as MVP and OG start up game number 3 of this winners bracket quarterfinal at the International 2016.
I think even more problematic than the Tinker is giving OG the Elder Titan. It's almost always first ban against crit. He was one of the first players to bring it into what we currently know as competitive Dota in the most recent iteration, and like it's such a nuisance playing against it.
He's so quick as well for that mid lane. MVP is going to get lucky. They put down a sentry ward, and they're going to find a very aggressive observer ward that OG has already planted down. So small advantage. Invoker gets to get the first CS on the board. Small advantage.
Yeah, it looks to be a Quaswex though. Quaswex is pretty good. It's a lot of what they needed. Decent control, and
if you can control long enough for QO to do the damage, then it all works out.
Mm-hmm. He has a tough job though. He can't do everything. He needs to you need someone to jump the keeper. You need someone to interrupt the Elder Titan combo, stop the Void from doing his thing, and then kite the Sven. And then after that, you can deal with the Tinker.
It's funny, if you're looking for a way to checklist that off, you've got that, you've got SD Disruption to really interfere with the Void. You've got Ogre, Lockdown, Axe, Jump in with Blink Daggers. All these things can work. Moon, okay, Moon, is there going to be a stun? There's a Fireball, and well, the Moon, Time walks off a lot of the damage, but he's still got 2 poison levels on him. He's probably not going to survive this. No way to Time walk out, and First Blood will go the way of MVP as Moon gets very greedy, chasing the bounty rune.
He had it down there very early. I think SD is one of the better supports to deal with the Faceless Void. You can't time walk off the Shadow Poison stacks, so I think it's going to continue to be a struggle for him, but no signs of a Quelling Blade yet. Moon does start with a Magic Stick and returns to lane immediately.
I love how Febby starts his mid lane. It's like, okay, well, Miracle's going to get up in the face of MP. How do we change the trade-off? Let's just bring... Basically, we've got the Gambler Man, Ogre Magi, up against Phone Book Crit. And they have to force him out. 2 insanely tanky heroes. Maybe Febby a little bit more tankier than the other Titan just because of his high armor. And he's just trying to zone it all out. It's just split the lane at the end of the day, though.
He has to be careful once the Invoker gets some levels, because he can actually catch the Elder Titan if he's far away from the lane. There's a lot of reach. Looking for No-Tail. Wonder what build he's going to go this game. We've seen HOD a lot, but sometimes we see an armlet fighting build earlier, which might be necessary. I think the armor is very important versus a Phantom Assassin, even though he has Warcry.
Be a better lane as well. Even if PA is going to... Okay, well, maybe that's not great for Moon when he has to time walk off just a Stifling Dagger. Who's pushing him out.
Even Keeper light a lot on bottom. He's taking out double stack right now.
Levels on Keeper of the Light, but not just that. Able to get... If he can actually get enough money on him, getting an early Aghanims. OG's going to have a lot of items to fight with, split push with, even harder, more than the Tinker is already going to do. Maybe he's really just itching for a go here at Tinker. They got Cold Snap and Tornado available, so it's going to force Miracle back underneath his own tier 1. Biggest also crit has to hang at this mid lane.
Miracle's at that critical point too. He doesn't quite have his bottle yet. Still needs one more cube. Is he going to bring out a salve and delay his bottle or what?
Selfish.
Not sure.
Find out in a bit. The MP and Febby, again, they still... Miracle's low and you got to be cautious about this. I'm also keeping my eyes on Forev. Forev almost died to an Alpha Wolf stack, but he's still pushing the envelope a little bit inside the jungle. Managed to find 18 CS already, 4.5 levels. Not too bad when you compare him to his counterpart in OG, which is Moon. 2.5 levels and found 0 CS. He just can't get anything out of that lane apart from presence.
Well, and they actually had crit TP mid to bring the bottle for Miracle, so he'll get a few extra free charges from Elder Titan. That'll kind of salvage that and make things easy. I think Keeper's just one of those heroes that you don't want to really leave alone. He just farms the jungle so efficiently.
Febby trying to TP as quickly as he possibly could to get back to MP. Miracle initiated with high level up in Laser and Rocket. No points up at March and Machines. Miracle's gone for a big combat build. He wants to help out. Still with Tornado available. Crits on the front lines. Cold Snap's got cooldown in 1 second time. Not going to find that opening there. Or will they? Stuns on Miracle. He's getting back to that tier 1 tower. The extra stun, but crit. Too good with the Echo Storm. Now with MP, who has to turn around the rockets from Miracle. They find the kill. He's got enough mana for one more laser, but the more damage needs to be done to Febby before he can find the kill. Now TP in the mid lane. It's DuBu. Disruption, but the Spirit's out. No stop to go with it. DuBu trying to solo kill on Miracle with a poison. He may still have enough. DuBu low, and he will drop. SD will find it, but Miracle with a double kill.
Perfect timing from the stomp on Elder Titan. They were waiting for the Fire Blast to set up for the tornado so they would guarantee that I wouldn't miss, but too good by Elder Titan. Right place, right time.
That wasn't even where MVP really wanted to fight. They had 3 players preparing themselves to fight in the top lane, trying to get that pick off on Moon. They're still trying to buy more space. Forev farming very, very quickly inside the jungle. They'll have to do something about him soon. Tranquils, Iron Talon, still progressing nicely.
I think they're getting enough out of the lanes. Not really under too much pressure. OG maybe start looking to stack some for Tinker. Crit comes in for another bottle refill, giving him a lot of help.
It's Miracle efficiently in the mid lane. That's what it's all about. Bottom lane, Febby. He's got No-Tail. No-Tail trying to initiate onto that Ogre Magi, but now Forev, he comes off out of the jungle. The Illumina's going to hit pretty hard, meaning Febby can't really keep up with this. But Forev, he just needs some spins, but he can't get any. So No-Tail runs out, the sound healing him up. With a couple of spins there, Forev would have had an opportunity to Culling Blade down No-Tail.
Yeah, he's level 7.
That's that farming axe.
Invoker almost dies in mid lane. Level 3 laser and level 2 missile. As you mentioned the combat build earlier.
Crit's looking for it. He's thinking, and I think MP also knows what's going on. He's hovering around MP in the mid lane with a smoke maneuver. Axe has to loop him behind, or you can just use disruption into initiation. MP lands the cold snap at Miracle. For the extra help, Forev gets the dunk. And Crit spends all of his time wandering around trying to find that pick on MP, but never finding his target, never found the Invoker.
I like how active Forev is. As soon as he has level 7, boom. I gave too much time to the Keeper, too much space to the Tinker, and he's going to start moving around. And he has great sustain too, Tranquil and Infused Raindrops to make sure that he's always fight and combat ready. And Moon's also nearing critical HP on top.
And he's got to be careful once QO hits level 6, then all of a sudden you could have a surprise dagger damage. Be a lot more cautious on this off lane.
This could be a very early blink from this. Taking out a lot of stacks at the moment.
And taking out the stacks, finding the kills. Also going to be a slow BTs from Miracle. For all the help that Crit's been trying to give him, Miracle, Tinker has still only got 22 CS in this mid lane. Like both mids haven't got that much CS, but it's more important for the Tinker with his progression into BTs, have that global influence. Invoker can still go hand of bias and play catch up later on.
However, Fly's free farming on bottom, and he's almost level 6 on the Keeper, while still giving almost full lane experience to the Sven. So we haven't seen too much active from OG's bottom lane, but sooner or later they'll start to pay off for them.
Oh, bottom lane, No-Tail wants to have a crack. He's gone for the War Cry into a Storm Bolt. Febby dropping low. The Illumina damage isn't enough to find the kill. It is a higher level than normal, so a level 2. But that's a very tanky Ogre. And Ogre's almost level 6 as well.
And we get some rolls.
The Forev's going again. So again, they go for this disruption into a walk-in call. And, well, No-Tail is so far up with the creep wave there. Start with a Battle Hunger. Forev to follow him into the tree line. DuBu gonna see fly. They let the poison go to start with. DuBu, does he want to disrupt up right now? He's looking for it. The call will hold north. No-Tail in position. Febby's helping out from the tree line. The Storm Bolt's over on DuBu. So No-Tail with the Illuminate. Oh, it's just off target, but DuBu's dying to the creep wave. He'll fall down, but the Culling Blade's there from Forev. So bonus movement speed. He still needs more help, and it's on the way. Invoker, MP through the tree line, gets that tornado onto Crit. He wants to go for the stomp, but Forev finds another dunk. 2 heroes lost for OG, even if MVP do lose their SD to the creep wave under the tier 1.
Forev and Shadow Demon moving around very well around the map. Just isolating the Sven. Sven has HOD, has not yet dominated a creep, but I think OG need to work on their stacking game very soon. MVP already prepped up. Observer Ward on the high ground, and the Observer Ward close to the Tinker stacks too. Miracle in a precarious position right now, 650 gold away from the BOTs. But Blink Dagger on Axe is coming in just 200 gold. He'll have it after this camp. I think they might be able to hit the smoke blink timing before his BOTs.
That's so dangerous once Axe actually has that. Like, not relying on the SD. He didn't rely on the SD in that last fight, primarily because Sven was just so deep. And then Notel switches his lanes. Goes up to the top lane, dominates one of the range creeps, now starts to stack. It's all going to be all about the flash farm, but MVP have an observe ward watching most of that happening. Mid lane, Chronosphere, Moon goes on MP, Miracle with a laser and the rocket underneath the March Machines. DuBu, defensive disruption, keeps him up, now Notel comes in, QOTP as well, the Monicast, MP's going to move his speed, and he gets away! He's actually in this, away from the Sentry One, the call! Forev! He actually manages to grab the two of them. DuBu will get the kills with the high levels up in poison. They want to go for more, they split away from the storm. DuBu, the only affected one. QO, no stifling daggers, they don't have the over Forev, another jump in, he called Miracle, QO goes in with him, with the crit, and the Axe Culling Blade, once again they get bonus movement speed, looking for the kills. They'll run away MVP, they've done the damage, they're pretty low, no reason to risk anything more. That's the second time MP's been escaping on so low life, but still involved in the fight. He should be careful, however, he's underneath on the Orbs and Sentries, but maybe not. Chris, he thought he had something there, but, well, he thought. After he dies.
Very quick from MVP to TP in there, just in time with the SC save, and Notel getting a little greedy too. He didn't actually storm both the Invoker, just assuming that he was dead, and goes for the Storm Hammer onto QO, and MP just gets safe with the under the guise of the Ghost Walk, and after that Forev catches them out with his Blink Dagger. That's not really a timing that you expect. 9 minutes, Tranquil Blink.
Gonna get worse from too, with Forev getting involved in all these kills. He's now sitting on 1,000 gold, so if he starts getting tankier, OG may not have the damage to deal with it. Notel still a way away from getting that Echo Saber up and running. You still are lacking Miracle's BTs.
And very different build from QO this game. He doesn't wait out for the Dezo, instead going for the Vladimir's offering. Curious choice. I guess they don't have the Void to build the Vlads for him this game, and they want much more Roshan potential because they don't have an Exhort Invoker available to them this time. And Quaswex Invoker is just not good at taking out Roche.
It's like QO have sustained directly on him when he wants to move through the jungles. But MVP, nice start for them so far. They hold the advantage, about 5k in the experience, just over 4,000 in the gold, and they're going to push this even further with QO slipping into the pit for a quick and easy Roshan. That's what the early Vlad is allowing you to do as well. But OG, they have to try and stop this. You have an Elder Titan, he's fantastic at slowing down Roshan.
Notel has different plans though. Looks like he's going to pop his God Strength and start to work at his Ancients, and he's going to be nowhere close to that fight.
So this is OG just saying we are not even ready to fight.
I don't know if they expected this early, because we didn't see this build from Phantom Assassin. I don't think they expected it with a Crossbow Invoker and no lifesteal of any sort. And you'll see the Elder Titan Spirit go into the pit right now, and Stomp comes out, QO gets stunned out, and OG, they can head over there, but
it's too late. They don't have the numbers for it.
I think all they'll get is the BOTs up on Tinker.
They can instead try and go for a little bit of a trade-off. Moon pushed the creep wave up, and this is why the ET was hesitant to come over. That Axe Blink Dagger, easy jump. And yet again, another kill.
Forev seems much more comfortable on the Axe this game.
Yeah, most definitely. This is a lot more comfortable game for everyone on MVP. Good aggression, early movements. Even MP's having himself a good game on this Invoker.
The Axe is a big problem for them. Like, he can jump anyone at this point, even the tanky Sven, and he might be in danger of dying. And they've slowed down the Tinker so much with those two calls and the Coles.
The fact at least Miracle has BTs up and running. And this is the other big upside of OG's lineup. They're really, really good at high ground defense, so MVP need to be a long way ahead. They don't have the advantage of something like a Bat Rider, get a blink initiation, drag back out, kill nice and quick. So instead they're going to rely on the pure strength of their lineup.
Might be time for MP to start thinking about transitioning though. You can see him pick up a Glove of Haste and realizing that, okay, OG, they're going to play the longer game. They have the Keeper for the recall, so even the Sven can slit push. They have a Tinker for the high ground hold, so they're not going to be able to
play
end
catch
this
up anyway. This is a nice pick. Fly, Forev, Blink, okay, Call and Tornado, not the greatest thing in the world. But it won't matter. Forev, already a level 2 Gunblade. And that Keeper of the Light didn't stand a chance. And they're even going to find Sven's double stack. Forev can take that fairly easily.
and OG trying to trade off their own jungle for Dire's jungle. They've started warding it up, and Moon and the rest of OG will start farming it, but I don't know, with this T1 tower under heavy siege and no keeper there to defend,
I think QO wants to go on bot lane. Miracle, stifling dagger, where's your crit? QO hoping for it, and Miracle, he's gonna go down. Waited for laser to be used for farming, now Moon arrives, QO in too deep. Miracle can't re-arm in time, the Chrono! You can smell Miracle! The Aegis, the Immortal Trigger. Miracle will pop it with the EMP from MP that did the work while Forev gets the call, gets the control on Notel. Godstrike's been triggered as well as Warcry, so he's got some survivability, and QO wants to run away. He'll have to run back in again, or maybe he can just blink himself over, killing off Fly. The Tornado taking Sven out of the picture. He wants Forev, but the Cutting Blade again! They go through them all! MVP! It is a slaughter! OG on the bot lane can't do anything. QO in again. Keep the stuns, keep the control, and keep the chase going. Moon Time Walker's up in 2 seconds time, but does he have it? 1 second, back to the tier 3 tower. QO, he's going in deep. This isn't your home, QO, but he won't carry one on the crit. Now he'll jump away and let Moon survive.
what? Who told him to back?
I don't know.
I totally expected him to go from there, but, you know, respawns are coming.
They also are here for objective-based gaming. Do some damage to that tier 2 tower. Difficult when the spirit is up.
That whole fight started off bottom because the Tinker didn't have laser up. He actually used it on the creep. It is good for efficiency, but it's bad if a right clicker is gonna jump on top of you. QO almost falls to a lot of basic points.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about with OG.
But look at Notel. Notel also has no mana. He has to get chakra at the moment because of the EMP. So now, slowly transitioning out, MP uses his first Midas on a large centaur.
Look at that Graph just swing down to MVP. Such a huge advantage, and here is that moment again. QO just hope for one more crit. Moon, a big saving grace for Miracle. The problem was, with the support rotating down, there was no way Miracle was going to survive. That EMP was perfect target. And then you commit the Chronosphere, and all you burn is the Aegis Immortal. Now they go again, we come back live. Forev holding Notel. All Notel wants is to farm, and he will be denied that as another dunk for Forev. Racking up so many kills, 802 now on this Axe.
MVP is just strangling OG, and every time they try to venture out to farm somewhere that's beyond their T2, they are just stifled immediately. And they have like okay vision, but the problem is they can't really fight at the moment. Tinker doesn't have Blink Dagger. He can't reposition himself like in the Chronosphere or around the Chronosphere to get multiple marches off. And Sven doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so he's still very vulnerable if he gets jumped.
Radiant's middle tower.
So MVP moving the first tier 2 tower, so open up the mid, but of course it's only 16 minutes in. They're still going to look to bring down more outer towers before they think about attacking OG's racks.
Need to play it patient, and luckily for them, they already kind of set that plan in motion by taking down the first Roach very early on. So you're going to talk about breaking base with like Aegis number 2, Aegis number 3, and that timeline's going to be sooner than most.
A lot of items on them as well at that point. Looking at a box with now over on Febby. I was wondering who was actually going to be the mech builder in this game. It looks to be him with Shadow Demon, a casual ring, so we'll probably consider Lotus Orb.
Maybe just standard Aether too.
Standard with
Not
Aether?
sure.
That'll be fine.
I don't even know if they need a mech. I think, I don't know. Maybe a pipe later to deal with Tinker. I think it's going to be especially problematic because if you ET and Tinker is just a nightmare. You're going to have to get beat.
Notel once again. All he wants to do is farm. And he's going to be denied all of his mana. The Blinding Light will force him back out. And I know holding Notel in position. The Poison and the Purge is just stacking up so heavily. The DuBu, he has done some serious lifting this game.
Yeah, I like the way he's been playing this game. Very active around the map. When they have kill opportunities and lanes, the supports can shine on MVP. When they have QO just farming, it doesn't really seem like they know what to do. They're just so used to it.
This Axe hunting for another kill with a fresh Blade Mail. Go with that early Vanguard. 18-minute Axe who is almost beating PA for net worth. Searches for the opening. So MVP, they are looking to go high ground now.
Still, a good Chronosphere could turn this around. They have a lot of damage to dump in the Chronosphere, even if the Sven is in the grave. And now with the Blink Dagger on Tinker, might be able to dodge and make some more fancy moves.
smart from Fly to already get that sentry ward down inside the base. He cannot let OG MVP have vision inside their base. That gives an opportunity for Axe to choose a right place to go. A Miracle is adding pressure to the top lane. Another upside about the Blade Mail. Does make Tinker a lot more scared of him.
Selfish.
QO is much more farmed than he was in game number 1. I think he picked up Dezo around 20-something. This game he has Dezo on top of Vlad's and 1,500 gold. And
4-man smoke, Tinker moves forward. He's looking for the PA. Rocket and Lasso. Warcry's been triggered to give the extra movement speed here to OG, but MVP, they're coming over and they're hoping OG that MVP will try and contest the Ancients, walking up to the high ground blindly.
you need BKBs to do that, to take a straight-on fight where they can't jump them without vision. Radiant has you scan, making sure that I guess no one's at a secret shop.
Now that MVP could have been smoking to try and flank them.
I think they'd be okay with that though, because they had that ward on the high ground, and Void kind of thrives in those sort of situations, and MVP does not look like they're going to be able to get the T1. Have fun dealing with March.
They're already backed out. They're actually denying OG every fight that OG want to take. OG are definitely grouped up. They are ready to try and have a 5-on-5. Chrono, Splitter, Illuminate, all this, they just want to throw it at MVP.
I wonder what Febby's going for. Okay, he's going for mech instead of pipe. I was considering maybe pipe, but he can also just get both. But OG finally can farm these two camps safely, at least. Very important for their melee cores.
They should still be prepared for Roshan. He's up in about 1 minute.
It's a long shot for OG to take that though. They've already invested all of their support items onto the left side of the map, and I don't think they have anything left for the right side.
Yeah, they got orbs and sentries everywhere there.
They really do have to protect the Ancients though, because you want Sven to get armor, a bunch of other items. He needs to be able to scale MKB at some point to deal with the PA. I'm surprised that we haven't seen too many teams trying to go with like a Silver Edge carrier to deal with a PA. A lot of times it's just magic damage or MKBs, but sometimes those two items come out a little bit late just because you're damaging the cores. They don't want to get MKB like second, generally. Well, OG with another smoke, this could be their time.
Yeah, they need the opening. The Spirit's coming out just to have a look over towards Roshan. Roshan, he is about to spawn. Warcry, Axe trying to initiate the Tornado, catching both Void as well as Elder Titan. An early time walk from Moon, trying to bring him out to safety. Kuro stifling dagger. He'll jump up and follow an instant crit on the Moon. He can't time walk off that damage straight away. And then the double call. Forev, he found crit, he found no time to burn out. Crit can't help out. They dumped one. The Chronosphere, it'll at least buy a little bit of space for Sven to hide in the tree line. But now with the stifling dagger, Kuro will go in once again. ET. Crit had to buy back. He had to help his teammates out.
Without Faceless Void for this fight though, OG stands next to no chance. They have to retreat and wait for MVP to push into them, but that means they will concede another Roshan.
And what a call on EMP. The fact that OG just had nothing to fight with. Can't trigger any abilities. No stuns, no... It wasn't even enough for a Spirit.
They just have better vision around that bottom side of the map. OG, they have to catch them by surprise as soon as there's smoke on. MVP, no. Okay, we can go now.
And this is when, like, more weight gets put on Miracle's shoulders. He's the highest net worth player over on OG. Just creep skipper, try and keep MVP away from the base, looking towards the side lanes. A dangerous venture when MVP now have enough money to get start buying items to catch him out. Just waiting in the wings, ready for a jump.
They need the Aether lens up ASAP, so it also helps versus like the Shadow Demon Siege. You'll see it more commonly with the Luna, Terror Blade, but you can also do it with PA. But she's melee, doesn't really do that much damage to towers.
Still waiting, he's still pushing that top lane out.
Oh, they still don't have Chrono for 40 seconds.
Yep, that's a level 1 Chronosphere, 130-second cooldown for it.
Well, they better hope that Elder Titan with the level 4 Stomp can hold out.
There's no March prep yet. Now Miracle. He'll do the first wave. The Rockets, Forev try and jump. He was right on the money to find that spot of Tinker, but Tinker left a fraction of a second earlier. And with that early jump, Miracle now stifling dagger. Kuro! He rips apart Miracle. Miracle does have buyback available, but Kuro almost at the base gets the crit on the fly. He finds a double kill inside the fountain
of OG!
Did you see this observer ward playing on the south side? That's what won the fight. That's what QO used to jump on top of the Tinker. I think it was just placed right before that happened, and it completely caught Miracle off guard. That is a game-winning observer ward right there.
OG just trying to scramble defense. They don't want to expand the buyback of Miracle. They need to keep every set they've got on him. They need to stop, they need to illuminate, they need to just slow down MVP's push. Now Moon, a 3-man chrono. Time dilation as well. The EG split is going to come in. QO, low on life, but not low enough. He's still up. Now No-Tail, he can hit him, but he's going to lose his life. And all QO can potentially lose his Aegis to the Immortal. MVP can just keep going for more. Tinker is up again. So Miracle, back on the field, but QO also up. The Aegis Immortal did trigger. They beat into the melee racks. The Rockets, however, is starting to force them out. And Crit, no splitter available. He can spear it up onto the hillside, start to stop if he wants to. But the Yule set already on Forev, sets himself up for a re-entry, for a perfect hit. No-Tail also in way too deep. Cole snapped up. He just can't fight properly. Forev doesn't have enough mana to go for another dunk, however. But then again, it's the Shadow Demon Poison bringing down the Sven. They come back in once more to the breach. MVP looking for the melee racks. And there's only so long OG can hold the line. Rockets, March, everything you've got will stop MVP from diving to the fountain. They can rotate into the mid lane. All 5 heroes still up.
Oh, what do OG have left for them?
Nice tornado into a call. Keeper of the light. No safe place to illuminate down. That's the reason why Miracle creep skipped. He actually went for the mid lane to keep it out. So the tower attack is all going on to MVP. QO now going to BKB, looking for a target. Moon, Forev can't get in range for a proper blink call just yet. Chrono on cooldown for 40 more seconds and MVP. Okay, you thought they were backing up, but Forev wants in. He holds Moon in too early on the Culling Blaze, but it won't matter with the Rockets. Miracle can get the pick up on the Invoker. A lot of money coming out from that kill. ET wants to go for more. Blitter is up, but OG still can't leave their base.
OG were just not given enough time. They did not expect MVP to be pushing high ground with the second Roshan under their belt. And they thought they had a stall tactic necessary with the Keeper and the Elder Titan just in case the early game went poorly. But it went just a little bit too poorly. Tinker way too underfarmed at this point. The Scepter plus Aether, I think, had a chance for the next high ground defense. And Sven, I think, has been the biggest problem.
It's the sad day for a Sven when you're 0 kills and 8 deaths on a Sven. The only person to get a kill over on OG right now is either a creep wave or Miracle. He got 3 out of the 4 kills of OG. There's just nothing coming in for them, and high ground defense can only get you so far when the die side have got such huge strength they can just keep diving in.
And BOT up on bottom lane, he's going to go for Kurt right now. Forev just picked that up, and that's a 3 kill. And shoring up their anti-Tinker defenses with BOT number 1.
It's almost an impossible ask for OG to come back from this. They have been stomped into the ground. Their hope is somehow Forev feeds himself to see the advantage. 25,000 net worth, over 20k in the experience. And MVP, like the only hope is the fact this 13 kill streak acts. Guys like Tinker to give him his Aghanim Scepter finally or something. Miracle is like halfway between 2 different items, having to hold on to his buyback. It only costs 800 for him at the moment just because he doesn't have that much. So there goes your Aghanim. He actually sacrifices everything. So no buyback available for the Tinker. They have to defend strong. The range rack's being brought down by QO. Now they need to jump in. Moon catching out 2. They need the damage, but Forev! A huge call! Caught Miracle inside the backline! Dark number 1! Blinding Light won't stop this. Moon can time walk off the damage. Maybe No-Tail can do some damage to the backline. Catching out the Invoker. Aluminum flies in. MVP still taking a little bit of damage, but there is no Tinker. There is no spam. There is no No-Tail. And under the tier 4 towers, QO. This could be the game right now with a BKB charging. Jump in, slice and dice. It is over. MVP. You have torn apart OG. You'll take the mid-racks, but OG is down for so long with 0 buybacks. MVP, if they want to, they can be safe or they can go for the GG push here.
And what a crazy TI that has started off to become OG straight to the losers bracket. 2-1 by MVP off the back of QO's Phantom Assassin yet again. And Forev what an incredible axe performance coming out from him.
This was so good. OG also not even checking him. The first movement to Forev. Like, he's always been highlighted as MVP's greatest support rotator, and he's done it perfectly.
That last fight too, like they had a chance. It was a 3-man chrono. It was so good from Moon. And with the recently completed axe on Tinker, they had the damage to actually kill people.
Just a double call.
Yeah, the double call.
The double call destroyed every chance they had.
And OG just limited to 5 kills this game. Still yet to kill QO.
They're going to believe in their defense. They will stay in this game and not let it go. Of course, if there is even a slither of a chance that you can hold on to this series and maybe win the next fight, you got to go with it. This is TI, this is winner's bracket.
It's nearly impossible at this point, though. Pipe completed on Shadow Demon. Invoker didn't go all in on the early game build, just earn for the early game, and then Midas, so he's transitioned quite well. Gold lead approaching 35,000.
Forev's gonna go bot lane, blink call, he finds Miracle. Forev actually, the Blade Mail helped him find the damage to bring Tinker within range of Culling Blade. He had double march to the machines down. It was the oldest counter in the book to a Tinker. You just stand inside the master machines, like you Culling Blade down, a courier and a boot. No Tinker for 40 seconds.
Yeah,
no buyback is available.
Whew. There's no way Sven's killing this PA.
Forev again. He doesn't care, he just blinks in, he Yule Scepters up. No tail with a stifling dagger, loses 1/3 of his life, then QO catches out crit. He takes out the big team fight controller and can just go from hero to hero. Forev calls and brings No Tail out of safety. They've got the stuns, they've got the control, they may not have the damage, and they may not have the desire. Go back to the tier 3 towers, make sure MVP get cleanly through into the semi-final. Moon's still waiting in the tree lines, hoping for an opportunity. 4 heroes are grouped up for a Chrono Sphere. Tinker's up in 2 seconds. Chrono on 2. No Tail blinks forward, doesn't find his target. Now Tinker, where is the damage from OG? QO jumps down, he finds Miracle with the control. He hasn't even used the Visible Blade. Now he will, holding Miracle there, allowing the act to finish it. And GG! Well played! MVP have trashed the 2-time major winners. The guys who are hoping to put a TI win under their belt. They may have to do it just like they did in Frankfurt, the journey through the lower bracket. They had a longer journey in that series, but at MVP, again, victors here on the TI stage.
I think MVP was probably one of the teams that benefit the most from the rest in between group stage and main stage. It just looks like completely different from what they were, where they just barely made it into